What we're going to do now is do a quick review of the normal curve, and we'll begin example 2 on page 273 of your text. Now we won't finish the complete example. That will be in another video. Now this graph should highlight what we know about the normal distribution and standard deviation. So the mean of a population for the normal curve is always in the middle, and it would be your most occurring score, and that's represented by being the highest point on that curve. When we go one standard deviation in front of the mean, we would contain 34% of all the results, and that's shown here. So if you had your mean plus one standard deviation ahead, you will contain 34% of all the results or data you had. And the same is true if you went behind. So if you had your mean and you go one standard deviation below, you would contain again approximately 34% of the data. So in total for these two regions here, right here, we will contain approximately 68% of all of our results. So there. When we extend this out and we go two standard deviations behind, so we have our mean, subtract two standard deviations, so from here back, we will contain approximately 45% of the data. And the same is also true if you went forward two standard deviations. Again, that's approximate. And in total, we will contain about 95% of all of our scores, of all the results that we had, will be contained within two standard deviations. And by going three standard deviations behind, or three in front of the mean, again, take your mean, add three standard deviations, you will contain about 99.7% of all your results. That's in total. Or just in front, approximately 47%, and in behind, 47%. So now you accounted for pretty well all the population. Now we'll look at this in terms of example 2, and again it's on page 273 of your text. In this example, we're looking at male Siberian Huskies, and they have a population or mean population weight of 52.4 pounds. So that's shown here. And a standard deviation of 2.4 pounds. So one standard deviation above will give us a husky of 54.9 pounds, or one standard deviation below of 50.1 pounds. And that should account for 68% of all male huskies should fall within this range. Now if we went two standard deviations below and again above, we would have huskies ranging from 47.7 pounds all the way up to 57.3 pounds, and that would account for 95% of our population. And three standard deviations back, we have huskies ranging from 45.3 pounds, and three standard deviations ahead up to 59.7 pounds. So that accounts for almost the entire husky population. And that's also shown over here on this graph, where we have our population mean, mu, one standard deviation ahead and one standard deviation behind, and the resulting weights. And then we will look at two standard deviations, three ahead and behind.